the whole stigma, that this whole fear of just saying that you use cannabis in general, or that you approve of cannabis in general. You know, this is ridiculous. It's like we shouldn't have to worry about saying that we use a plant. You know, people are out there using alcohol every day, getting pissed and, you know, punching people in the head. You know, and people are using other drugs. You know, they're using opiates as, you know, recreationally. Why are we feeling like we're criminals for using a plant that's saving our lives? You know, how many people use cannabis and then get violent and, you know, do things like that? I mean, you know, we might attack a pizza, but that's about the only thing we're going to attack. So, you know, I'm just tired of it, and we know it all comes back to the pharmaceutical companies. And I just want to say, if anybody keeps saying, why don't we have it here in Australia, I'm just going to say one name, and one name only: Malcolm Turnbull. Malcolm Turnbull has too many connections to pharmaceutical companies. He is the one that's holding all this back. Greg Hunt is his little pet dog that will do whatever he wants to do. So they deliberately screwed this when they announced it was legal in November 2016. We have officially legal cannabis, medicinal cannabis in this country. Unfortunately, we don't have access, and that's because Malcolm Turnbull let Greg Hunt put it in the hands of the states, which they knew would cause absolute chaos, because no state wants to be the first one to bring it through. Everyone wants to watch and see what the other states are going to do. Greg Hunt knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that would happen, and he knew that that would cause chaos and slow everything down. So we're pretty angry at the moment because we have been screwed by this government. We have been promised things time and time again, and they just haven't delivered. They have backflipped. We have emails leaked to us, so that basically proves that they've said one thing to us and then they've done something completely different, and we're tired of it. Look, you know, to be quite honest, we have no idea when we're going to get access. That is the truth. That is the truth. We have absolutely no idea. I could toss a coin on a map with, you know, 100 dates on it, and that would probably be... Yeah, because at the moment we are still fighting this tooth and nail, because there is still too many things holding this back. And the thing that's on the top of that is the pharmaceutical companies. And when we have people like Malcolm Turnbull's wife having shares, massive amount of shares in these pharmaceutical companies, that is the problem. When Lucy Turnbull owns shares in GW Pharma, and GW Pharma make Epidiolex, and Epidiolex is basically the drug that they have the contract for up in Queensland, at least in Queensland alone, we know that there's definitely manipulation going on. We want a whole plant product, but unfortunately we're getting Epidiolex, which is a CBD only pretty much product that is not effective. And we know they're doing the cannabis trials in Queensland with all the kids. Now they're epilepsy trials. Now we already know, the studies that have already come out from overseas have already said that Epidiolex is only 10% effective in cases of epilepsy. 10% effective. So why are we using a drug that we know is already only 10% effective in a trial? We know we're setting these up to fail. So if we have a drug that's only 10% effective, we know our results are going to be no more than 10% ever. And that's not good enough to pass anything through. So they have set those trials up to fail. And this is why we're angry. This is why we're angry. It's all the manipulation, it's all the bullshit, it's all the lies. And the thing is, it's a constant thing, because we have people that have been secretly recording their interviews and their meetings with different government officials. And so we have meetings recorded where they say one thing in one meeting, and then they completely deny saying that in another meeting, and then in the next meeting they deny saying either of those things. But we have recordings of everything. So it's getting to the point where people are getting smart now. They're starting to record their meetings, and we're now starting to prove the bullshit. And it's making a lot of people look really bad. It is hard to find good information in one place, and I'm going to tell you now, you are not going to find anything in one place that is unbiased, and that's what I'm going to say. There is a lot of groups out there that are giving out information, and there are some good groups and there are some bad groups, and I'm not going to name anybody, but there are some bad groups that are pushing out some information that is not helping anybody, and they have vested interests. So you have to be careful with what you hear. The only thing I can suggest to people is ask around. Go to lots of different groups, ask the same questions question to, you know, multitudes of people and see what answer you get. And when you get the same answer from 50 people, then you're probably close to saying that that's probably the right answer. But the best thing that you can do, if you want information on cannabis in general, proper information on cannabis, the only place you're going to get real balanced information is proper medical sites like PubMed. Go to the sites, go to the actual studies. Now there's got to, and this is something I'd like people to understand. There are studies and there are articles. A study is something where the drug has actually been studied. An article is sometimes only someone's opinion. So that might not necessarily be true. And there are a lot of articles out there that are absolute bullshit that people have been relying on for years. One of them, of which, is the whole ISO is dangerous. And that's one I'd like to address as well. This whole isopropyl alcohol is dangerous to use. That's a misconception, and it was brought up when people started selling the big extraction machines that were costing $2,000 or $3,000, and people were saying, oh no, that's too expensive, and they weren't buying them. So people started saying, okay, well, you've got to get them because you can't use ISO because that's dangerous. We found out that's dangerous. So you just look at the studies and you start realising that the time they started saying that ISO was dangerous was about the same time that they started releasing all of these new machines that they wanted a lot of money for. So look back at why things are being said. Look at the actual studies, not just the articles, because articles, like I said, are simply people's opinions, and everybody has a different opinion. It's not necessarily true. So if you want unbiased information, go to studies, go to your things like your PubMeds. Google is your best friend. Google the same question and look at the answer from 20 different sites. And like I said, when you get the same answer 10, 15 times, then you know you're pretty much right. So, but all I can say is, just you've got to do your own research, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and it's hard to say one site in particular that is okay. There's a lot of people that there's some sites that might have 10 great articles and 5 shit ones. So it's up to us to find the information. But we have to start looking at some different ways. We've tried changing it through legislation, through politicians, and they're just not listening to us, and they're not working. So we're going to look at some other ways. We're looking at challenging it through the courts. So in other words, everyone's got to stop pleading guilty. We've got to fight all of our charges. We are not guilty, so we need to say that. So we have to start fighting our charges. I'd like to see a class action, and I'd like any lawyers out there who are willing to take on a class action. I'd like my name to be right on top there to take a class action against this government for withholding medicinal cannabis from us. They basically told us it was legal last year, and we have a year later, we still don't have access. We have people dying. So I'd like to start a class action against the government for withholding medical treatment that is a medical necessity to most people, and see what we can do with it, because that seems to be what's happening over in America. We've got a young girl over in America that's challenging the government in the courts and seems to be getting somewhere. So this is what we need to do. So we need some lawyers that are willing to take it on.
Expensive and hard.
It's going to be expensive. It is going to be hard, but I tell you, there's a few lawyers out there that could make a name for themselves out of this. Sydney criminal lawyers have been great. They've supported cannabis for a long time.
Sure, there's a young child there in the university studying a shit.
Surely there's someone out there. We need someone, and if anyone is willing to do it, contact me. We'll get financial backing. We'll get we'll get a GoFundMe page up there to back it all and to fund it all. We just want someone who is willing to put their life into it, because this is going to be one of those big cases. This is going to be one of those Erin Brockovich big fucker cases that is going to change people's lives, and not just change people's lives, but save millions of people's lives. Because this will be a treatment that will be an everyday treatment used in hospitals. In 20 years' time, once it's legal, it'll be something that's just the hospitals use. You don't even get asked whether you want it or not. It's just like you don't get asked what medications you get use now. That's what will happen, and you will have cannabis, whether you like it or not. That's the way it will be. So it's time we get this done.
Thank you so much.
Love you, darling.
All right. Take care of that. If you need anything.
I just want people to stand up. I want people to stop being scared, stop being ashamed. There is nothing wrong with us using cannabis other than the government telling us that. And you know what? This government are a bunch of dickheads. Look at them. Look what they're doing to us. Look at the same-sex marriage debate. Look at the euthanasia debate. Look at Adani, the coal mine. Just look at everything that they're doing to us. And you need to understand our politicians are a bunch of dickheads. And if we keep relying on them to look after us, we're all dead. So we have to start looking after ourselves. So get out there, make your own oil, and stand up and support it.
I'm really hoping that in a year's time I can catch you here again.
have a smile, you'll be happy, and things are going really well, and the legalisation is either done or on its way very closely, and you have the support that you need.
I really hope so too. I really hope so too. For the sake of everyone, because more than anything, and the only reason I started this in the first place, is I want people to be well and happy. That's it. That's all. I don't want money out of this. I don't want reputation out of this. I just want everyone to be well and happy, so that they don't message me and ask me to make them well and happy.
That's a great.
I need a break.